The latest QV house price figures show big differences in the rate of growth across the country, with values in some major centres flat or falling and strong growth in others. Joining me now is QV National Spokesperson Andrea Rush. Andrea, let's start with those nationwide values and some of the values in our bigger cities.
Yes, that's right, Tristram. The latest QV House Price Index figures are showing that nationwide values are up 6.5% in the year to February and 1.2% over the past quarter. So that's a faster rate of growth than we were seeing late last year in terms of the annual rate of growth. So things are picking up again, and a lot of that's driven by strong growth again in Wellington, Dunedin. Some of those main centres like Hamilton and Tauranga have picked up again during February, and also a lot of regional centres, the Hawke's Bay still strong, and a lot of South Island places still seeing strong growth.
Okay, so strong growth in Wellington you mentioned. How about the other two biggest centres, Auckland and Christchurch?
Yes, well, the Auckland market remains flat, up only 1% year on year, and the Christchurch market is down slightly by about 0.8% year on year. So again, Auckland and Christchurch values really stable, down a little in some places, up a little in some places, but across the board pretty flat. High values holding in Auckland.
Let's just touch on Auckland for a minute. Any areas that are experiencing very strong growth or big drops that you noticed?
So mainly what we're seeing is, Waiheke Island still very strong, but central areas have dropped back a little bit over the past quarter. So have Waitakere City, both year on year and over the past quarter. Parts of Manukau are down. Now
Christchurch, the only major centre or urban centre to experience a fall. What's driving that?
Well, again, what you've got is a normal market there where demand's meeting supply. So what they're seeing is sales still occurring, activity still in the market, but just the values stable and not seeing strong growth at the moment. Nothing's really driving that market. There's not a shortage of housing like you've got in some of our other parts of the country.
Now, we've talked a lot about the LVR restrictions. There's been a slight easing of late. Any impact, any flow on from that easing?
Yeah, interestingly, a lot of the QV valuers are reporting places like Hamilton, Tauranga. You're starting to see first home buyers being able to get in more easily now that you don't always need that 20% deposit. And then some investors starting to look around, even in parts of Auckland. We're hearing talk that they are looking for bargains now that you need slightly less than that 40% deposit.
Let's touch on the South Island. Some interesting things going on down there in some of those regional areas in the South Island.
Yes, very strong still around Queenstown. Places like the Clutha district, Mackenzie district, Cromwell is very strong with people priced out of Queenstown, can't find accommodation. Places like Southland and Invercargill have seen some of the strongest growth since before the GFC. And then further north, Nelson and Tasman still very strong as well, and Dunedin as well, still going well. So
but still some quite good prices down there. Despite that 9 or 10% growth in Dunedin and Invercargill, you can still buy a house for under 400,000 in Dunedin and for just a little over 250,000 in Invercargill. Quite standout numbers when you think Queenstown and Wanaka so close.
Well, that's right, especially when it's 1.1 million in both of those towns. So yes, and that's why the Mackenzie district as well still seeing the strongest growth in the country, over 24% year on year and 8.1% over the past quarter as people go out to places like Tekapo and Twizel priced out of Wanaka and Queenstown. So yeah, South Island very much the one to watch this year, I think.
Andrea Rush, thank you.
Thanks, Tristram.